It doesn't matter when it comes to fat loss. None of the food plans will result in fat loss unless you are at a calorie deficit. All right? Did you hear that? That is so important. Now, you can be at a calorie deficit and not be seeing weight loss if you are eating very high insulin producing foods.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above.
Hello everybody, my name is Judy Terrell and I am a nationally board certified health coach. I am currently finishing up a PhD to have a doctorate in lifestyle medicine, and I have been working with clients for weight loss and health improvement and longevity for 43 years. Welcome everybody. If you are somebody who is struggling, thinking they're doing all the right things and yet still not seeing that scale go down, I work with clients day in and day out for 43 years, and I have 4 patterns that I notice that is blocking people from seeing the weight loss thereafter, because they're doing something from a lifestyle perspective that needs to be altered, and with a couple little tweaks, we start that scale to go down every single time. Welcome everybody. All right, let's get right into it. My first of the 4 main things that I see that are blocking weight loss from a day-to-day habit pattern perspective, from a lifestyle perspective, is skipping or missing day meals. So many of my clients are falling into the criteria that has been identified by the science studies for blocking weight loss, especially if you're a female or a male over 50. And that is, people are eating about 30% of their calories between the hours of waking up and about 4 p.m. and then they're eating 70% of their calories from 4 p.m. until they go to bed. All right? That is the direct opposite of what we should be doing. We need to be eating about 70% of our daily intake before the hour of 4, and then the rest of the 30% of what we're going to eat after 4 o'clock, stopping no later than 7 p.m. and even earlier, 6 or 5 if possible. All right, that is the intake circadian rhythm that the science studies are showing is most successful with fat loss. And it makes sense, because if we're eating, at night, we're disrupting our hormonal circadian rhythm. Cortisol, melatonin, ghrelin, leptin, these are all hormones that contribute to hunger and satiation response and stress and relaxation response, and we start messing with them by timing your eating improperly. You're going to be fighting messages from your body and your brain that are going to drive you to eat even when you're not hungry. All right, so most of the clients I work with, they'll tell me things like, well, I'm not hungry first thing in the morning. And I would say back to them upon analysis, well, that's because you're eating 70% of your calories, within an hour or 2 of going to bed, and of course you're not hungry in the morning. All right, so if you can turn that around and eat early in the morning, have your breakfast and have a lunch, and not skip those meals, you will not be as hungry at night, and then you'll start to become hungry in the morning because you're rebalancing the circadian rhythm of your hormones for hunger. A lot of my clients will also say, they get busy, they get at work, they are kind of not aware of their hunger, and so they can work through lunch when meetings come up, but then it always, when the day winds down, that hunger, now you're excessively hungry, and that bubbles up as you're walking in the house, not even sure what you're going to eat yet because you haven't prepped a dinner, and now you're grazing through your cabinets, grabbing at handfuls of granola and a handful of nuts and some protein-enriched cereal. And when you add all that up, it ends up being excessive calories for the day, even though it might be the only thing you've eaten for that day. So this is a very, 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 did I say very common problem? And it's a simple fix. You have to adjust your mindset though, because I do think a lot of the clients that I'm working with kind of have it in their head that it's good if they don't eat during the day because they're trying to lose weight, so they're skipping meals, or that they feel, their clothes are not fitting them properly and they don't want to eat, when their waistband's cutting into their belly. They don't want to be aware of that, but like I said already, this is a pattern that actually ends up making you gain weight. So you got to kind of adapt your thinking about it and try to, titrate your eating so that you're eating a breakfast, a lunch, having a snack maybe before you walk in the house, and then having a late dinner, and then stopping, closing the kitchen, and then waking up the next morning hungry, right? That is a rhythm that most of my clients, when they are not losing weight and I can get them to adjust that, start to see that scale go down. That's number one. All right, on my second pattern that I observe with people that is stopping them from losing weight, even though they think they're doing the right things, is eating what I call greenwashed food products. Okay, well, what do I mean by that? So greenwashed means it's something that is a processed food, but that has a connotation that it's going to be good for you, either from a health perspective or from a weight loss perspective. And the most common, food in this category is bars. I have so many people that'll have a bar for breakfast, a bar for lunch, a bar for a snack, and by the time they get to dinner, again, they've had like 4 to 7 ounces of food, because these bars are about 2 ounces each, right? So 3 of them are 6 ounces of food. They're very calorie dense at 110 calories per ounce. Most of the bars are like 90 to 120 calories an ounce. And so now you get to the end of the day, you've had precious little volume of food, and calorie wise, you might have had a similar amount of calories to then if you had eaten actual whole food meals, but then you haven't because you had the bars, so you don't have a lot of volume in your digestive system, and now the day is winding down and your hunger is starting to bubble up. All right, that is a very, very common habit pattern that I hear from my clients who are struggling to lose weight, because then again, like I said on the first point, they walk in the house and they start grabbing at supposedly healthy foods, but handfuls of nuts is going to add up really fast, plus those bars, and by the end of that day when you go to bed, you'll be like, I haven't eaten any really that much volume of food, but from a calorie and energy intake perspective, you have probably exceeded your calorie deficit amount that you need to target for the day. And it's inconceivable to a lot of my clients, but when I get them to actually track it, the light bulbs go off. It's like an aha moment, and it's an easy shift. Now, I'll give you that these bars are very convenient, and that's one of the selling points for them, why people like them, because they're not taking the time to prep or think ahead about where to get real food, or going back to point one, they don't want to eat real food during the day because they already feel too fat and they don't want to put more in their system. But just mark my words, from my 43 years of experience in witnessing this with people and coaching them to try to change that, and then having success. So it's not that hard to hard boil up a bunch of eggs and then cut up 2 of them and then chunk them up, mix them with a tablespoon of avocado mayonnaise, and then put that into 2 corn tortillas with some microgreens. Those are going to be similar in, 2 of those would be similar in calories to 1 bar, but that's going to be about 8 ounces of food to 2 ounces of food in a bar. But you can see the difference in volume, and that makes a big difference, even though they're the same amount of calories. So, staying away from these greenwashed products and trying to eat, find convenient, quick food that you can eat on the run is going to be 99.9% of the time helps my clients I'm working with to actually see that scale start to go down. All right? So that's point number 2.
When you have tried all the programs and done all the right things, and yet you still can't lose the weight that you're trying to lose, and you're a male or female over 50, now is the time for you to look into my program, Your Second 50.life. It includes online video support. You can download video and PDFs for an eating plan and exercise plan appropriate for the over 50. It includes group support on a monthly basis, and perhaps even more importantly, it includes weekly individualized coaching specific to you. Having the generalized plan is a good thing. I have helped literally thousands of people to lose weight over the 43 years I've been in practice, and I'd like to help you too.
Point number 3 is avoiding BLTs. All right, what are BLTs? It's not what you think. It's not bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. I've coined this term from Susan Pierce Thompson, who is the founder of Bright Line Eating. BLT stands for bites, licks, and tastes. Okay, many of my clients, even the ones that are food journaling and tracking their calories or tracking their intake in either apps or a handwritten journal, they will write down their meals, but then they will miss writing down the handful of crackers they had as the food was warming up in the microwave. The handful of nuts that they had as they walked by a coworker's desk and they're having a stressful day, right? So many of these little bites, licks, and tastes will come into their eating during the day and then add up to 300 to 500 extra calories for that day. And when I'm writing programs for fat loss for my clients, it's 500 calories a day that I'm trying to build into their eating plan so that we see a pound of fat loss every week. So these BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes, add up to 300 to 500 calories and sometimes even more, and there is the calorie deficit that we're after. And so you might not be gaining weight, but you are blocking your fat loss if you were trying to lose weight, if you are not quantifying the BLTs. All right, so the bites, licks, and tastes, my hack for that is just take them out. And if you're eating real food and you're putting in your meals during the day, your need for having to take these bites, licks, and tastes is definitely minimized, because they're not happening from a hunger perspective then. They're happening for entertainment reasons, stress management, and there are other things you can do that don't involve consumption to take care of those needs. But if you are not eating your meals, or eating these greenwashed products that are not filling enough, then you are more apt to be susceptible to the bites, the licks, and the tastes. All right, so that's point number 3. And now the fourth and final one of the top 4 that I see in my clients that are blocking fat loss is eating what they think is healthy foods, but then not quantifying it. All right, there's a really big mindset that I observe in my clients now that if I just eat healthy and then eating a lot of these greenwashed products that have protein added to them, but they're still a white flour product, like protein-enriched Fruit Loops, for instance. But people are eating what they have determined to be healthy food, and then somehow in that thinking, they believe that if I just eat healthy, then that means I'm going to, be at my just right weight, right? But that is not how it works, because, there are plenty of opportunity to overconsume healthy food and then, be in an overweight body that is not healthy. All right. So the mistake that people are making here is that they're switching and eating fruit instead of candy for a snack, or they're having, what they perceive as a healthy food, like a protein-enriched bar for a breakfast instead of, eggs with oatmeal or some fruit, but doing what they think are healthy foods, but then not quantifying it, not having some sort of a set schedule for the budget of how many calories, how much energy you're taking in during that meal, so that by the end of the day, you're in a deficit for what you burned, because the science and the studies show, I don't care if you're doing keto, I don't care if you're doing the mind diet, I don't care if you're doing a paleo, vegan, it doesn't matter. When it comes to fat loss, none of the food plans will result in fat loss unless you are at a calorie deficit. All right? Did you hear that? That is so important. Now, you can be at a calorie deficit and not be seeing weight loss if you are eating very high insulin producing foods, ultra processed foods that are high in sugars, right? So now you can be at a calorie deficit and then still not seeing fat loss because of hormonal mechanisms, but you can be eating healthy and not be in that calorie deficit and not be seeing weight loss, okay? So the point I'm trying to make is you have to be in a calorie deficit for the fat to come off. But if you want to see the fat to come off in the most healthful way, you want to be eating healthy foods combined with the calorie deficit, not one or the other, all right? So those are my top 4 patterns that I observe in the clients, the thousands of clients through my 43-year history that I've helped, coaching them to make lifestyle changes so that we see weight loss, fat loss, and of course, in addition to that, we see health improvements in cholesterol and A1C and LDL markers for heart disease. A whole host of health improvements as well as fat loss. But if you're unhealthily overweight, seeing the fat loss is also, a healthful thing to change, right? So If you've gotten some really good insights from these, some aha moments have gone off for you, then I encourage you to join my community of coaching clients online from anywhere in the world. It's called yoursecond50.life, and I am helping people make dietary, lifestyle, fitness, movement, sleep, mindset, all the things that go into what make up a lifestyle, and using lifestyle as medicine, because your day-to-day living habits are the most potent medicine and supplement that you can do, that you can take to improve your weight management, your health, and your longevity. See you soon, everybody, on another video.
And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.